I'm at BMW's facelifted 7 Series in sunny Portugal. Now, of course, you know this is a facelifted car because of that massive upstanding grille. But the company also says they made it more comfortable on the inside. It's more silent, it's more refined, it rides better. It even has a more powerful engine under the hood. This 750 Li gets 530 horsepower. Is it much better than the earlier car? Is it a big improvement? We have the car for the day. Let's take a look. First things first, however, that huge grille. It's even bigger than the one on the X7. And yes, sure, it initially comes as a shock when you see it. But then a strange thing happens. The more you look at it, the less out of place it looks. BMW all but admits this has been done to please Chinese buyers, who at 41% are currently the biggest buyers of the 7. It even gets cool, narrow headlight enclosures, and look down and there's even a wide smile. And I also love how those air blades channel the air around the front wheels. Look at the car from side on, and what you notice is that high, flat bonnet. The nose is 50 mm higher at the front compared to the earlier car. And around the back, I like the interlinked taillights as well. There is, however, a bit too much chrome in and around the exhaust. Looks a bit unnecessary and excessive. There aren't many changes in the front of the cabin. There's a new steering wheel with buttons reconfigured for autonomous driving. There's new wooden and lacquered trim on the dash, and BMW's new 7.0 operating system is what you get now on iDrive. But this is a luxury limousine. Let's not forget. So let's take a look at what's changed on the back seat. So in the back of the 7 now, and first up, you do notice the new leather. It's got a diamond pattern. It's more comfortable to sit in. The seats are a bit softer. And BMW also say this is acoustic glass now, which is why the cabin is more silent. Of course, you also get a lot more wood. But some of the earlier features, like this tablet, they remain the same. The touchscreens now are, however, updated to 10 inches. And you still get that control slate between the seats and its super cool locking mechanism. And then there's the wooden center console that runs all the way to the rear, which looks pretty cool. Wish the powered rear seats, however, would go a bit lower. You feel a bit perched up on them. Refinement, however, is much improved due to the greater use of double glaze insulation, better damping of the chassis, and more insulation over the rear wheel arches. Now immediately this car feels quieter and better insulated. It feels like you're wearing a pair of earmuffs. There's less road noise, less wind noise, and BMW have achieved that objective of making it more refined and more comfortable on the inside. What's even better is the ride, especially on its two settings, Comfort and the even softer Comfort Plus. So in Comfort Plus now, the softest setting on the air suspension, and BMW say on this facelift they made it even more supple. And you can feel the car glide over some of the bigger ruts and bumps you have on this road, and even some of the larger bumps are swallowed without too much noise or too much deflection of the chassis. It is a bit floaty, especially when you up the speed a bit and then you want to go back to the slightly firmer setting, Comfort. But all in all, it's great to have that option. If you have a really bad road, set Comfort Plus, it's just right. Now BMW haven't just made this car more comfy, the facelifted 7 is even sharper to drive. Straight off you notice that the steering is more direct, and that's not it. Now what you need on a road like this is a bit of agility, and BMW have provided more than enough with this sport setting. They say they've taken it further ahead, they've made it sportier than on the earlier car, and immediately the way the car points into corners the way the car wants to dive in, the kind of composure it has, the kind of enjoyment you can take from slicing through one of these corners. They really have done a fabulous job. What helps keep all that mass in check are three smart systems: air suspension, active anti-roll bars, and rear wheel steering. But the real trick is making all three talk to each other and work in unison, and that's exactly what BMW has done. Now, on some of these tighter corners, you do feel the weight of the car, especially at the back, and that really can't be helped. But what BMW has done is give it a lot of stability. So there's no feeling of looseness, there's no feeling of the mass being really flung around, and that is pretty amazing. The propellant under the bonnet is also considerably different. It's still a twin-turbo V8, one with the twin scroll turbos packed in the V of the engine. But it also is now considerably reconfigured. To begin with, it gets 80 horsepower more at the top end. It has more torque at low engine speeds, and then it's more responsive too. What you also get when you put your foot down in sport is this extremely sharp throttle response. Of course, the punch is tremendous. You have 530 horsepower under the bonnet, and that gets transferred to this four-wheel drive system or X-Drive. It just puts the power down like you won't believe. 0 to 100 in 4.1 seconds is the claim time for this piece of real estate. And the incredible bit is that after a while behind the wheel, you tend to forget all that mass and just enjoy the performance, grip, and the chassis' incredible agility. So BMW has nailed it. Achieved almost everything it has set out to do with the facelifted 7 Series. The car's more dramatic looking on the outside, quieter on the inside, it rides better, it has more grunt under the hood, and BMW has even managed to do the near impossible, make it drive like a car that's half its weight. A lot to look forward to around Diwali if you like to drive and be driven in your luxury car, and of course also have a generous budget of around 1.5 crore.